I don't gotta hurt you, God will. You and your feeling for no reason, bro. You built your own hatred off looking at me. What's wrong with you? You can't stop what God built, bro.
All right, so hey y'all, I am back and I am back with another story time and another chit chat video. So get your popcorn because we gonna be here for at least a good 10, right? At least a good 10 we're gonna be here. So grab your popcorn, grab your drink, whatever it is that you need in order to get situated. But yeah, we're gonna get into a little story time to kind of help you guys, like, I'm not gonna say understand me, but just kind of like a thought process that I've been reliving and re-going through when it comes to me, like understanding me and my personality and how I am, the way I think, I'm saying, just really looking at my upbringing in a different light, different manner, just to kind of help me know me, right? Because knowing yourself and God gonna be two of the best people you could ever know in this life, right? Because once you know you and you know God, then you really know everybody else, right? You know what I'm saying? You start to know everybody else too, sort of. Anyways, listen, guys. So I want to get into a story time. I'm Tamaria. I go by Tamaria Lakio on all my socials, so feel free to follow me on your favorite one. Um, Excuse the hair. It's bad hair day, so that's why I put on a hat today. Plus, it kind of goes with the story. But I just remember growing up and like as a child, like I had four like close friends, four close friends. Two of them were like besties, but like we all hung together, and it was five of us max, right? Five. So let me take you all the way back, right? So this is before freaking I remember this is before freaking starting kindergarten, right? This is before starting kindergarten. So I remember we lived in this apartment complex, and then like across the street, that's where my best friends lived, right? My best friends lived right across the street. So my mom would ask their mom to watch me. That's how we became like best friends. So listen, it's boys. Four boys that I grew up around. Four. Two of them was twins. Two twin boys. We was all the same age, and then there was a middle child and a younger child, boys. That's who I grew up around as a little girl. I grew up around. So yeah, I grew up around these little boys, and I could just remember us like playing together. You know what I'm saying? Like we had such vivid fucking imaginations. Like, okay, like back in the day when like Power Rangers was out, like of course I could be the pink or the yellow Power Ranger, like whenever I wanted to. And I think even sometimes I was the white one, and that's a male, right? So we would be outside playing Power Rangers and shit, like we running around motherfucking like fighting invisible goddamn people and shit outside because we motherfucking Power Rangers jumping off the porch and shit. Like, we I did a lot of boy shit when I was like growing up. Like I did play with dolls too. I played with the Barbies, but that came like a little bit like as I started to get older. Then I started to play with Barbies, and then once I started like school, you know what I'm saying, then I started having some girl best friends, but then I kind of liked them. So it was like we was best friends, but then I had those feelings towards them, because you know what I'm saying, I don't know what it was. I was hanging around boys, and I was hanging around the girls later in life, and then you know what I'm saying. Just it was what it was. So, but I was just thinking like, dang, I was really out here hanging around with boys when I was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? And we was playing with like Ninja Turtles and shit like that. Like that's like that's how it was for me. I remember this shit as a kid. Do y'all remember stuff like this from y'all's childhood? Like I remember a lot of stuff from my childhood, even before my best friends. Like I remember a lot. So listen, we be playing with like the little Ninja Turtle toys. Baby, don't get me started on how we used to sit down and play Sega Genesis. Don't get me started on how we used to sit down and play Nintendo. Like, what? What? I'm like, how, but it just seemed like the way I remember it seems like, okay, so I'm telling you guys that I remember this happening, like meeting these friends prior to me going to kindergarten, right? So the way the timeline goes, okay, so my mom married my stepdad, and I moved down to Oklahoma when I was what, 1 or 2? So you're telling me between 2 and 4, I think that's the age that, you know what I'm saying, it is before you start pre-K. You know what I'm saying? Between 2 and 4, I had two. But yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I just feel like that shaped me so much, to be around boys as a girl, because it's like, okay, it did, but it didn't, because we were kids and we were just like having fun. And like, we ain't know shit about masculine. We ain't know shit about feminine. We was just, and we was like close, like all of us. We was like real close. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, like me and the two twins, like, you know what I'm saying? Between 2 and 4 is crazy to be hunching. But between 2 and 4, all I gotta just say is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, just thank you for your grace and your mercy. Like, that's all I gotta say to that. But I just remember us playing, like, we would just have like the best time ever. Like, their mom was super cool. She was like auntie, she was like mom, she was like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, sweetest woman ever. Right? How she just, you know what I'm saying, like, would help my mom out because my mom was working. So she would help my mom out with watching me, right? And she had 4 boys. And it was like my best friends. From 2 to 4. I want to say it was past from 2 to 4, because I remember once we did start kindergarten, whatever, I think we went to the same school, and then shortly after that we moved. So then was best friends for real. Like, we ended up moving apart, and then again we ended up in the same neighborhood again, but we would hang out like sometimes, but it wasn't like how it was when we were younger, nothing like that. Like, I remember one of our favorite snacks that we would always eat when I would go to their house is motherfucking peanut butter and jelly. Like, they like that theirs toasted. Like, I didn't care whether mine was toasted or if it was just like the plain soft bread, but just like peanut butter and jelly. One thing we was finna eat was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for sure. Very easy, very simple, because you're not finna keep their light diet, you guys. So it's probably gonna look a little bit different, because yeah, this shit gonna die again. Watch. So it made me kind of feel like that I may be good for, like, see, it died. Sorry. So, like, me thinking about that dynamic that I had when I was a kid made me, like, it could take me down like a rabbit hole for real. Like, I was like, damn, like, maybe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is an indication or like sign, signal, revelation that maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and who I am, like, I might could do poly. You know what I'm saying? Never tried poly, but I feel like my characteristics and my, what's the word, like, my demeanor, like how I am in a relationship, how I view relationships and people, and you know what I'm saying, like, just all of that. I was like, I probably could do poly, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of people be like, 2 niggas and a girl, it's a different word. It's not poly, but it's a type of poly. You know, they have like the different types of poly, but I feel like I could do it. And that was like, you know what I'm saying? But then that's not like the only thing that made me think that either. But also, what it made me think of is just like, also what it made me think of is just like the idea of like being attracted to someone like that at such a young age, right? Like before even knowing anything really about the world. Because between 2 and 4, you know, and it was like, do I remember the twins fighting over me a little bit? Like sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like there may have been a little bit of tension between them, like sometimes, but then it's like this was between 2 and 4, right? For the most part, I felt like we all literally got along, right? So I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to conversations that we're having in today's time, in today's era, in 2024, 2025, right? When we're talking about the feminine and the masculine, and we're talking about relationships and stuff like that, like it makes me think like not only because like I reflected on my childhood hunching my best friend boys or whatever the fuck I just told y'all, but because listen, it's like we've all, male and female, can agree that to a certain extent, you know, yeah, what I was gonna say, like, depending on like your environment, like where you live, and when I say your environment, like I literally mean like your neighborhood, your family, the city, the state, the south, the west, the north, the east, like wherever you're from, Dubai, you know what I'm saying? Like wherever you're from, there is a like the closest people around you are creating your mindset, right? You know what I'm saying? So as you grow up, you're looking to other people to shape your reality and how you go out into the world and you are, right? Like like as you're growing up, you're looking at other people to see like, okay, am I doing it right? You know what I'm saying? Like other people are teaching you how to be, and it happens like I said in your environment, but then it also happens like socially, like through social media, through TV, through movies, through books, through newspapers, through music, right? Like it happens like so many different ways, right? So you're taking all this information and you trying to construct your viewpoint through so many different lenses, right? And it's like the lenses that you're using, you're utilizing other people's lenses when you have pretty much like 2020 with your own, right? Like you have the ability to pretty much see whatever it is that you want to see with your own lens. Like not only see whatever you want to see with your own lens, but create what you want to create with your own lens, because basically when you're looking at others, you're using your lens to create your reality, and your reality and your perception about women, about men, about the world, about finances, about race, about culture, about politics, about religion, about do's and don'ts. Like, if you're not really using your own lens to create your views around these certain things, and you're just trying to, you know, figure it out based upon what everybody else is doing, where everybody else is going, you know what I'm saying, what's trending, what's popular, then like everything be getting distorted, and you be out here moving in a way that'll have you looking, you know what I'm saying, unlike yourself. So all that just to say, it's like I really don't get how like the male and the female can't see that they've just been looking at each other the wrong way. Like I just really don't see like how the male and the female don't see like how they've been programmed to be a certain way that doesn't benefit each other, so that when they are using their lens to look at each other, they could see something different. Like I don't see how the lens that you're creating is through like a lens of, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody's out here being disrespectful. I'm not saying everybody out here is creating a lens through hate or envy or jealousy, but where is the love? Ugh. I mean, you see it every now and then. You know, God bless those who can create, you know, lenses that can operate in and through love, right? Thank God for those people. But it's just like, wow, like everybody's looking past that whole part. And it's like, you've been brought up to think a certain way about a group of people, about a sex of people. Like, dang, is we not all out here? I mean, I get it. Everything is choice, right? Everyone has the ability to choose which way they want to go, and if hate is the way they want to go, that's where they want to go. Let them go. You know, you can't stand in the way of nobody, you know, that's like dead set on, you know, believing what they want to believe, doing what they want to do. Cause I'm the same fucking way. Same way.